said, I just wish like I would have done you guys sooner. You know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, and, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.
All right, everyone, welcome in. Thank you for joining us on the Watchlist, powered by TAAN-TV, where we spotlight the ones you need to know before everyone else catches on. I'm Kevin Howell, the one-eye scout, and today I'm excited to be joined by a true force in the paint and beyond, Amoni Francis.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Oh, my bad.
Yes. No, you're good. 6'7" matchup nightmare out of Harlan High School and running with the Houston Hoops on the EYBL circuit.
Yeah.
Monty, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it for having me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. As I told you before we jumped on, man, you're one of my most intriguing prospects. I've watched you your freshman year. I watched you develop into going from a role player as a freshman to more of a force as a sophomore, and it's just going to keep growing from there. Let me jump right into it. You've been turning heads this spring. For those who haven't seen you, how would you describe your game?
Well, I would say the big word that everybody uses, and I would describe myself as versatile. I do a little bit of everything. Growing up, I was just bigger than everybody, so I think my physicality and my defensive presence is something that not a lot of people have. So I think that separates me. I'm versatile. My dad, when he was playing, he was a 6'8" point guard, so I have ball skills too. So very versatile.
Yeah, and it's funny because this is the EYBL's kind of first look at you. Coming from Future on the Puma circuit. What's that been like? How's that transition been for you?
Well, I played EYBL last year too, but yeah. But overall, I think it's been great. Just having like bodies to go against. People who are some similar athleticism, similar height, similar mobility. Just kind of challenge me, see where I'm at. The first year was just kind of like an eye opener. Because I didn't really know how good I was, but like the first year playing EYBL was like, all right, you can play. So this upcoming year is gonna be like, let's turn up, trying to get as high on those rankings as I can.
It's kind of I won't say an anomaly, but with you and Mac both being there, it's kind of interesting that two guys from this area are playing in Houston. But how has that been?
I played with him previously with Future, so I already kind of knew what it was going to be like. Having that chemistry in the past, but it's definitely really cool. Having somebody around. I would say like some similar around. Austin and San Antonio don't really get a lot of respect, so for us to be able to play on the Nike circuit, it's really cool.
All right, so you don't just play big; you move like a wing and bang like a post. It's a rare blend. I know you said your dad played point. Do you feel like that's where a lot of your versatility comes from, or is that a focus in training sessions?
Well, I think for me, I never really wanted to be one dimensional. Growing up, my favorite players were always like guards. It was never like I wanted to be like a big. So like I think young me was like my favorite player, Stephen Curry, and I know I'm not gonna be like Steph, but just having that type of idea in my head kind of helped me. And my dad trains me more than anybody else, so he also helped with that. Teaching me how to handle the ball. Because he was a point guard in high school, nationally ranked. then he moved around, so he kind of learned a lot on his journey. So he's kind of just been implanting that into me, which has made me well-rounded.
Hmm. We're gonna go back to the EYBL for a second, but competing with top dogs nationally, the Houston Hoops. How does that compare to high school basketball?
Well, it's definitely more challenging, just because of the fact that um, there's not a lot of districts, or I don't think there's really any district in Texas, at least, um, that could prepare you for the athleticism that you face on a day to day, like game to game basis on
Hmm.
EYBL. You're gonna have people 6'10" who can jump. You're gonna have crafty guards who can shoot. And every other district you can have one or two good teams that can prepare you for that, but you're not always going to get that. And for somebody like me who like it's kind of hard to find somebody with like basically even matchup
Hmm.
type of thing who can kind of compare. So it's definitely
Yeah,
nice being on the UIBL circuit.
I can see that. On that circuit, you got to bring it every possession, every day, every game. What's been your biggest growth area since joining? Well, you've joined, but this season,
Yeah.
what are you focusing on?
Um, I would think my biggest growth area is definitely going to be like tapping into my athleticism more and my shooting ability. I've been really working on my shot, and so far this spring, I would say it showed. And one thing my coaches are emphasizing on to me is just like learning how to like just out athletic guys. At times it sounds like counterintuitive to like just only want to like just out jump people and everything like that. But I'm just learning how much of an athlete I am and how much like my job can be easy, getting to the rim and everything when I'm just being an athlete.
You know, uh, Kind of going along with your coaches and what you're saying. That weekend that I got a chance to watch at the circuit, man, I I won't say amazed, but I was shocked at how extremely athletic you've become. Even from end of the high school season to now, you just seem to get places with less stress. Uh, your jumping ability seems to have improved quite a bit. I don't know if that's true or just the way I was sitting, but back home in San Antonio, you're one of the cornerstones for Harlan. Talk to me about that responsibility and how you lead and what's ahead for you after having like KJ and oh my mind would just blank. Um,
Knowledge,
Knowledge, yeah, thank you, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think this upcoming year is going to be real fun. I think our seniors definitely um, you know, had a great deal to do with our run this year. But I think we're right back at where we need to be to be competitive again. Me and the upcoming seniors and some of the upcoming juniors like myself, just trying to do everything we can to lead coming into the season. It starts like right now, to be honest. So yeah, we're trying to do everything we can to kind of have everybody else on our back, and we believe we can do it. So just making sure it's not a situation where it's like, oh, we got lucky. So just having that pride, making sure
Mhm.
it's not a one-time thing.
You know, Kind of a off topic question, but what it what sense of pride do you have, knowing that the 25 class was what it was, the 26 class has more Division One players than that year, and it looks like that 27 class that you're in is going to have even more. Um, what's that feel like, or does it put more pressure on you, or you just navigating your own journey?
I mean, no, I'm overall really excited for our class. I think we have a really good chance to compete overall, and on the college circuit. But no, I'm definitely navigating my own journey. Kind of finding people to pace myself with. Obviously, want to be up there for sure. But you have to focus on yourself. So I'm not too worried about you know other people.
What's driving you right now? What's the voice in your head saying about getting up early for lifts, or when you're about to hit that wall in the mid game?
Um, I would say the big thing that's driving me right now is I would say doubters and just some like self motivation. I've started this um, and I don't want to give up. I love the game,
Mhm.
and I would say doubters. I've been told, you know, I can't be doing this at my size and everything like that. So for that, for it to be hearing that so many times, you can't want to not prove them wrong. So just
Yeah, I got that was some of the feedback I got, about you, and I just kept telling people, just wait and see, because I like to think that I'm pretty good at projecting, and that's why I say to you at the jump at the front, like I'm excited where you're going, because I don't think anyone really has any idea about how far you can go, and just keep working, man. I mean, like I said, I've always enjoyed watching your growth, uh, because people don't understand, uh, especially for a guy with your stature, your growth. You know, your body gets used to your height, and then it adjusts, and then it adjusts, and then it adjusts. And always having a good sturdy frame. I'm excited. It kind of leads me into my next thing. You got the edge, and if I'm a college coach watching, and I see a physical forward who could defend four spots, finish strong, and stretch the floor, tell them directly, look into the camera, what are they getting in Amoni Francis?
um, you're getting a tenacious defender, um, someone who is willing to work as hard as he can, um, to get the coach whatever they need. A
Mhm.
great teammate, someone obviously you already said it, who can stretch the floor, a good decision maker. You're getting really the whole nine. Uh, you know,
Before we wrap up, man, I always like to do this little segment, and it's called Pass the Ball. Like in a crunch time situation or the first shot of the game, who would you pass the ball to? And they could be one of the next upcoming guests.
it's one person.
You can do one, two,
Let's
three.
go. Let's go. Jordan Mangum and let's go Donovan Chris.
Okay. Uh, we actually have Donovan on scheduled to come up the 23rd.
Gosh,
You know,
gosh.
but yeah, so we're excited about that, man. And thanks for joining, dude.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, man, you've been someone that I've wanted to get on. Um, and I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the summer. I'm excited to see you come back, but don't rush back. Um, then and that's a wrap for this edition of the Watch List, brought to you by TAAN-TV. And never, man. I'm sorry, man. One of my favorite students jumps on here every once in a while, and then. But anyway, thanks for joining us, man. Everyone, we're gonna close out here. Sorry, I got distracted. All right, man. Let me do this for us.
Said I was just wish like I would have done you guys sooner. You know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, of, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.